Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and it's Tuesday. Tuesday used to be my least favorite day of the week when I was a teacher, but it has slowly become a pretty average to above average day, especially during MLB season. Now, when football starts and we don't have any games on Tuesdays, I may have to rescind that, but right now I'm focused on Tuesday, Dinger Tuesday, and I'm excited. As always, there's two versions of this promotion. Check your terms. If you have the unlimited version, which means you can earn up to $25 per game for every game, play as many as you're comfortable. If you have the limited version like myself, where you can only get $25 back on the day total, I would suggest playing 2 to 3 games. General notes, I always line shop every other bet except this. I'm forced to play FanDuel, so I don't think it serves me much purpose to line shop these lines because I can't play any other lines, all right? I'm trying to find you the most value in the game in terms of home runs generated and also snag a few home run hitters. That's my angle. You can find EV guys doing their EV thing elsewhere if you want to do that, all right? Last week we did pretty well. Noel didn't end up starting and he did not pinch hit, so that is a wash. I will point your attention down here that I had Talkman. Talkman was out of the lineup, so I went with India. Talkman ended up pinch hitting, so I subtracted an extra $25. This game cost me $75 last week in my chart. I'm not trying to cheat anybody. I'm following as strict of rules as possible. Please understand that I'm not trying to pull a fast one over on you guys. We did do pretty well last week. Santander, Morel, Kalinick, McMahon, and Jackson Merrill at plus 900. I actually played Jackson Merrill on my account, so that was good. It made me positive for the week. It was a great hit. But here's the deal. We did it. We did it, guys. We're finally in the positive ROI for the B team. Last week helped hitting 4, especially this plus 900. I said at the end of the year I would love if we could get both of them above water, and that we have. Overall, we're at a 17% ROI. If you were to play every single pick, and convert your free bets at 75%. If you had 2 accounts, if you were 2 people, all right, you would have made over $2,000 following my picks. All right. So I'm not going to hit them all, but I like to think I understand what I'm doing. And if you even look at this number, if you just play my 18 bets the whole year, and you did not even get any free bets. So if Dinger Tuesday didn't exist, we're just going on picks, you would have spent $6,075 and made $6,131. So I am positive without this promo on 18 picks, okay? B team? Yeah, we don't have to talk about B team, all right? Let's talk about today. Game in Cleveland could get rained out. Last night, Josh Naylor went 0 for 4. So if you want to play him tonight, go ahead. I'm going to stay away from Josh Naylor as I have for the past few weeks. And guess what? He's hit. So maybe I will take this sacrifice for you. Josh Bell and Ketel Marte would be my picks. I don't know how you can fade Marte, especially at this number, for what he's been doing in the last 2 weeks. And I think he has a soft matchup here with Ben Lively. Game in Pittsburgh is not looking good. The conditions are bad. Dylan Cease has been playing pretty well this year, so I am going to target Bailey Falter and go with Bogarts and Hae-Sung Kim. I don't mind Manny Machado at 340. It feels a little low given the conditions, so I'm not going to endorse it as an official play, but if you want something a little safer and less of a long shot, you can look at Machado, but I'm not tracking officially. Game in Miami. Matt Mayer is struggling with hard hit balls and with high exit velocity. So if you want to, and I would target him instead of Lodolo. Candelario at 680 and Ellie De La Cruz at 520. Miami is an indoor park, but it is somewhat difficult to hit home runs in. Ellie De La Cruz had no problem last night. He hit 2 home runs and 2 doubles. So he's seeing the ball well there. We may as well go back to that and try to reciprocate tonight. Game in Washington is probably the one I'm most optimistic about in terms of home run volume on this first half of the slate. All right. Encarnacion is a guy who just came up from the minors and has only played, I want to say, 3 games. If you've watched this guy play, I don't know how you don't pick him to hit a home run tonight or any night. All right. I don't know if the market's quite adjusted to his power. I mean, he is just a massive dude standing there waiting to smack one. If he gets good contact, that ball is gone. The wind is helping tonight, and I think he has a fairly soft matchup with Gore. Now, I get that maybe Birdsong is maybe, the guy you want to target because his numbers are a little softer in terms of allowing the home run, but I just think San Francisco's bats have been a lot stronger recently. So Encarnacion and Mark Canha would be my plays. This one is probably the one I'm most optimistic about. Game in New York is okay. It's projected well from Ballpark Pal, but I will tell you there is some weather and the wind looks to be kind of swirling, so it makes me a little nervous. Jazz and Ben Rice would be my plays, 450 and 520. But again, I think there's some guys that can hit home runs in this one, so if you're on the limited version, it may be an option. Game in Toronto, I'm going with two Baltimore guys. As you can see, the pitching is pretty even in terms of exit velocity allowed and hard hit percentage. Real quick, hard hit percentage is a stat that is measured by balls that leave the bat at 95 miles an hour. So if these guys are giving up an average of these exit velocities, hard hit percentage is how many of their balls leave the bat at over 95. And 95 is this benchmark that basically says if as soon as batters start hitting the ball 95 and higher, their on-base percentage goes up drastically. I should have put the chart in here. So home runs are not going to, balls aren't going to leave the park at under 95 miles an hour off the bat, okay? Or if it is, it's going to be extremely rare and it's going to be heavy winds blowing out. But the point is, that's why I've added these numbers, because I think it's a better tell for, matchups. Colton Cowser and Jackson Holliday. I really like Holliday at this number, 870, a guy who's hit 2 home runs in the last 5 days. He's 20 years old. He doesn't have a lot of MLB experience, and I just think the market, again, has not adjusted to him. My dogs are barking. I'm sorry if you can hear that. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep on pressing. Elder and Colin Ray. I would go Jake Bowers and William Contreras. I would target Bryce Elder here, as he is the worst pitcher in this matchup, but I do think there are some bats that could hit home runs. So if you want to go with an Atlanta guy, I don't hate you for it. Jeffrey Springs and Sonny Gray. Springs is one of the worst pitchers in terms of hard hit balls and high exit velocity. So I'm going to target one Cardinal in Nolan Arenado. Let me say that again. And I really like, I think Sonny Gray has been really good this year, really on, but he hasn't had a lot of rest. I want to say it's Tuesday right now. I want to say he pitched Saturday in Chicago. I think that's right. Maybe Friday, maybe Sunday. It wasn't Sunday. Friday or Saturday. The point is, I think he's on short rest. I think it could be an option. I think Brandon Lowe is a really good matchup against him tonight in terms of the home run. Framber Valdez is shocking to me. This is statistically the worst pitcher on the slate at allowing hard hit balls. So not what I would expect given what we know about him in previous years. Tyler Mahle gets the first start of the year, guy who played for Cincinnati for the last I don't know how many years. First start in 2024. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to target Valdez though and go with Simeon at 600 and Garcia at 500. Adolis Garcia at plus 500 feels like I'm missing something. It feels too good. So definitely one that I'm looking at in terms of my personal plays. Game in Chicago, the wind is blowing in at 21 to 28 miles an hour. Like the balls are going to have to travel out of the park and through 28 mile an hour winds. Good luck. And so for that reason, I'm picking guys who just slash. Byron Buxton is a fine play, but Manny Margot and Royce Lewis would be my plays, not touching it. Game in Kansas City is about the same. It's actually worse because the park is much harder to hit home runs in. Again, I'm picking guys who have power, Vinny Pasquantino and Rafael Devers. If this tells you anything, Devers is at plus 430 against a righty. So that should tell you how hard this park's going to be in. I wouldn't play it, but those would be my plays. This game is the opposite, and we are thankful for it because we need some good conditions. We need some home runs. Kyle Freeland struggles, and he's going to hopefully struggle again in Colorado, a hitter's high altitude, a hitter's dreamland, one of the top home run parks. Okay, Harrison Bader at 560 and Mark Vinicius at plus 330. The odds are, indicative of the conditions. The odds are pretty chalked, pretty tanked. So if you get on and you think, I'm going to go with Pete Alonso, he's like 260. Okay, I don't mind Alonso. I think he could very well hit a home run, but I'm not willing to pay that plus 260. If you are, more power to you. Go for it. Game in Oakland. I'm targeting Jared Cannon in this one and going with Lawrence Butler, who has been playing pretty well the last 2 weeks, and Seth Brown, 560. Ballpark Pal's not optimistic, but I really am okay with these specific matchups. It's kind of like last week with the Padres and Jackson Merrill and Jake Cronenworth, where I was like, I don't love the game, but I love these guys. Similar spot here with Butler and Brown. Don't love the game, but I kind of like these guys. But this one is the cream of the crop. the pristine top. I hate the game, but like these guys. I think these prices are too long, okay? Castillo, yes, is a name that people know, people recognize, and people respect. But as you can see, he's giving up some hard hit balls. Now, Seattle is kind of neutral in terms of like hitting conditions and park factors and whatnot. Colt Keith and Parker Meadows are both guys who can get it done. And I really, my gut says that Colt Keith should be in the 600s and Parker Meadows should be 650. Like, these dudes are, I think it's too good. So I'm struggling, and if I want to put the $25 on them, knowing that this game is probably not going to generate 3 to 4 home runs, the ceiling is probably 2 to 3, but it's giving me flashbacks to last week. 2 guys at about these same numbers, really like the matchup. So, I hate losing you guys money, and I hate like hyping up dudes that could go 0 for 4. And, I don't want you guys mad at me, but I'm just telling you, there's something to it. In the last game, decent pitching, but Kershaw has, not been sharp. I believe he pitched 1 time coming off this latest injury. So this will be a second start off of an injury. So I'm not convinced that he's got it to the level that we've seen him in years past. So Trey Turner and Austin Hayes would be my plays. JT Realmuto was a guy I had my eye on. He's like kind of injured, so he's maybe not going to be in the lineup. FanDuel doesn't have his number out. So Ballpark Prowl's okay with it, but I just think both of these teams hit a lot of home runs, so I'm okay with giving it a B. Couple things before we move on to the full slate and talk about it all. There are 3 ways to support me. The first, which does cost you money, is you can buy a shirt. Okay, down below you can see. Gosh darn it. You can see a link. Okay, this is nice. This is embroidered. All right, I wouldn't get black because the logo doesn't really stick out as much. My cousin got a green one and it looks pretty sharp. So if I get another one, I won't get black because you can't really tell, the black around my logo, like up here. I can't move it, but I digress. Get a shirt if you want. There's a couple varieties. Second way is $10 a month. You can get access to my daily picks. Now, I hate touting picks, okay? I try to give you a high value promo based play every day over on SoBet. The cool thing about SoBet is you get access not only to my plays, but everyone else's plays on the app. So you can go to the leaderboard, you can see who's hot in the last day, the last 7 days, the last 30 days, and you can tail guys who you see are profitable. I am right now 30th on the last monthly leaderboard. I've hit some long shots. As you can see, my win percentage is not great, but I play 1 unit usually a day on a home run hitter or something with a promo, and while we don't win every day, we are up 30 units with a 67% ROI. I know that's insane, but a lot of these guys play a lot of volume. I don't necessarily play a ton of volume. So here's an example. I had a boost on FanDuel, an Olympic boost, and at the beginning of the Olympics, I really liked Italy's double matchup with Jasmine Polini and Sarah Arani. Polini has been playing lights out, one of the top 3 women's tennis players, and I just think she's undervalued in the market. And they went on to win gold at plus 850. So there were a couple of people who tailed this for $10 and 185. So that felt pretty good. So if you want to get on SoBet, the link is down there. It is $10 a month, right? And there's a chance you sign up for $10 a month and I lose every single play, and now you're out money. Like, understand that is the risk with this. I'm just trying to be completely honest and completely transparent. All right. So if that's not something you want to risk, I don't blame you at all. Don't sign up. Okay. The third way, which costs you no money, is to just sign up for another sports book using my link. If you go to the link down in the description with Betstamp and you sort by your location, your state, it will show you all the books that Betstamp is partnered with that I get money from when you sign up. So go sign up for a new sports book. You get the new user promo. It doesn't cost you anything, and I get a kickback from it. So that's the easiest way. Let's move on. Stop talking about it, buddy. All right. First slate. Marte, I think, is very interesting because of the way he's been slashing. I would skip this game because of what it is. Candelario catches my eye at 680, but I don't love the game. Encarnacion is probably one of my, that's what makes my gut feel good in this game. I would love it to be over 500. It's not, whatever. I think Jazz has a good matchup tonight against Daniel and in this park, but there is a rain chance, so watch out. Holiday, I think, is slightly undervalued in the market. I like him at 870. No real feeling about this game, although I do like Brandon Lowe. Moving on to the second half of the slate, I think Garcia is too valuable at plus 500. I think his line should be closer to 360, 420. So I like him there. Margot and Lewis, I would totally skip because this game is going to be a windy nightmare. Same thing for Kansas City. This game, I think the odds are just a little too tanked right now, but if I had to play one, I'd probably just trust Bader. This game, I like the players I've picked. I don't love the optimism for the game. Probably a skip. This one is going to be the one I'm going to struggle with until 9 p.m. tonight about if I want to play them. The most safe way I'm going to probably approach it is throw a free bet on it because I have some free bets stored up, and that way I can be happy if they hit and not upset if they don't. And the last game, I'd be okay if you played on the limited version because I think you could get 3 home runs. A little long today, guys, but I appreciate you coming by. If you don't mind liking this video and commenting who you're playing, it helps YouTube understand that this video brought value to someone, and it may push it out to other people who want to find the same value. I love you guys deeply, okay? My wife started work today. She started with her kindergartners, and normally I would be putting on some dress clothes, going in with a stomach ache, teaching some kids, and I'm not. I have the opportunity, the privilege to be here talking about what I'm so passionate about, what I love, and it feels good, and I'm thankful. So I can't do that truly without you guys, so thank you for taking the time to watch this. I'm going to stop rambling, go refill your coffee, and enjoy your Tuesday.